Why, hello. I suppose I can take this time to talk about something I worked on. This is the dumbest intro. Alright, how do I start this? How do I do videos? I don't know. So hi, I'm a 10360 if you're new to the channel. I recently made a music video talking about imposter syndrome, and I thought a little bit of time has passed. It'd be pretty fun to talk about the production and my expectations afterwards, all that sort of shit. So I just want to get it out of the way, as I know a lot of people are probably going to be pretty worried based off of how dark and deep the video was. I'm okay. I'm great. I'm doing fantastic. I just wanted to make that music video to explain what it was. And when I started writing the music video, I was pretty deep into it, but as I started learning more about imposter syndrome and writing the lyrics, I was able to help myself understand it more. So let's take this a little ways back, and I mean, as in a little ways, I mean like back into 2016 or something. Back in sometime late 2015, I joined Hyun's dojo, which if you're subscribed to me, you probably know what that is. If you don't though, Hyun's dojo is an animation community that I get featured on a lot. It has a bunch of my friends are on there. I've grown a lot just by being on that platform, a part of the community. It's been so much fun. But I've grown quite a bit, quite a considerable amount. I know I have 14,000 subscribers at the time of this recording, which in comparison to some YouTubers is minuscule. Even to the whole community, the dojo community as a whole, I'm fucking tiny compared to that. I've already far exceeded my expectations on how far I would go. I used to make old cringy Flipnote animations. Like, look at this. Look at this. It's cringy, right? So, I started making stick fights in 2015, pretty much as soon as I discovered what the dojo was. And I discovered that stick fights existed outside of Flipnote. And I started delving into it. And then in 2017, I got my first synced collab featured on the Hyun's Dojo YouTube channel, which was big for me at the time. And this was when the dojo was like under 1 million subscribers. I think it was like 700,000 or something. But I kind of started out as a little bit of a controversial figure in the community, because there was... For a while, it felt like I was someone in the community who you either really liked or really hated, which was fine, really. The issue is that I started doing synced collabs when, prior to that, the only other person who had done a synced collab before was Shuriken himself. People started calling me unoriginal and shit, and saying that I lacked creativity. I just started getting a lot of backlash and hate, even though Shuriken fully supported what I did. He found Kryptonite like a day after it was uploaded, and I was blown away. I got to talk to him that morning. That was awesome to me. I was very nervous though. But right about here is when my imposter syndrome started to really kick in. I started making more content, more synced collabs, more animations, and I was slowly gaining this bigger and bigger fan base in the community. And I started thinking to myself, this is going by pretty fucking fast. Do I deserve this? What did I do to deserve this? I suppose, for those of you who don't know what imposter syndrome is, to put it very simply, it's when you feel like you've cheated everything that you've earned. And I just borrowed a lyric from my song. So you can pour in monumental amounts of effort, but you can still feel like a fraud. That is essentially what imposter syndrome is. You hold these... Sorry about that. You hold these unrealistically high expectations for yourself, and when you inevitably don't meet them, you beat yourself up about it constantly. That happens to me a lot. While I'm much better at it now, I still suffer from that quite a bit. I mean, that's why it took Shame Story 5 2 years to release. I was working on that video for 2 years, from October of 2018 to October of 2020. I was before October in 2018 that I started that. I think it was September. Either way, it took way too long to finish for what it was. But the years kept going by. I kept getting more and more attention. They kept featuring my videos, and I was incredibly grateful. And as time went on, I started to feel more like an imposter. I was suddenly at this... I got the dojo partner role on the dojo, which it pretty much just gives you a purple name. It says you've made a lot of quality content in the community, and you deserve to be recognized for it. And I didn't feel like I deserved it. So after just all that shit started happening so quickly in such a short amount of time, even though it was 5 years pretty much, it felt like shit was going by way too quickly. I started getting fan art for the first time ever, and then I started getting fan animations and just a whole bunch of love and appreciation that I just was not used to. And it just felt like it was happening so quickly. And I know there are other people in the community who have grown far faster than me. Insane amounts. Like, look at Junie and Taro. Taro is about to hit 100,000 subscribers. He might already be there by the time this gets uploaded. He's like 4,000 subscribers away. It's fucking insane. Like, just a few months ago, he released the Osu collab and had like 5K subscribers. It's absurd. And of course, all props to him. He deserves it. And then Junie is on a whole nother level. He gained like, what, 100,000 subscribers in a week? Was it a week or a month? I'm pretty sure it was a week. But it was just absurd. Like, look at him now. I remember when he was asking to be in my collabs, and now he's here. My man is, he's blown up. Everyone has deserved it. Anyone who blows up like that, I feel like they deserve it. And of course, if they can take that success and keep moving with it, then they fucking deserve it. But if that shit happened to me, I don't know how I would feel. I would feel like an imposter. I don't feel like I deserve a lot of my success. I jack a lot of it up to luck, which is not healthy, and I'm more than aware that is not the case. I have put in a lot of work to get to where I am. So much fucking work. The problem isn't that I don't think I put in enough work. It's that I can't understand the success that I have derived from it. So for my brain to comprehend that success, I tell myself I'm a fraud, because that's the easiest way for me to think of it. That is the core of it. Around when I was hosting the YouTube Rewind collab, it hit me pretty hard. Imposter syndrome got me real fucking hard. Because all of a sudden I was getting all of these amazingly quality entries, so many every day, like 20 entries every day. By the end of the month and a half that people had to make and submit entries, I think I had somewhere around like 300 to 400 entries total, which is absurd. And of course, I was only able to choose like a fraction of those entries. I wanted the collab to be much smaller than it was. But the reason it was almost 20 minutes long was because there was just so many parts I had to put in, because they were just so fucking good. But it was during November that I started really thinking, this is crazy. What if this blows up? What am I going to do? What if this is the only thing that I'm remembered for? Do I want to be remembered for this? Do I want to do this? I started questioning everything that I was doing a lot. And I had some conversations with my friends, and that's when it really hit me. Fuck, I have imposter syndrome. That's when it really hit. I had suspected it for a while, but I kept denying it because to me it felt like an excuse of acting a certain way. And I didn't want it to be an excuse, so I just kept denying it. But eventually, if it kicks you in the ass hard enough, you're going to stop denying it. So a few months before it really hit me, I was talking with my friend Sumik, or Sumik. I'm still not sure how to pronounce it, and I should probably ask him, but oh well. Incredible producer. He's the dude who produced the music that I used for Road Rough House, and he was really excited for me to use it. I believe he had participated in a number of my collabs even before that. We've been friends for a while. I met him in the dojo, and I asked him if he wanted to help me make a song. And originally this song was going to be a lot more cheery, a lot more happy, because this was around the midst of the whole COVID-19 popping up, around March or April, and I just wanted to make something that people could look at and think, wow, there really is hope. But pretty much nothing got done on it. There was like an example beat that was made on it, but that was pretty much it. So a few months after we started the project, and after it pretty much died immediately, I came to Sumik in November as soon as I got kicked in the ass by imposter syndrome, and I was like, hey, fuck the old song idea. I want to go the completely opposite direction because I want to get this off my mind. I just want to try and put this in a song and try and explain it to myself so I can hopefully understand this better. And he was 100% down for it. He was really excited to do it. So we got started. I pretty much started immediately writing the lyrics, and I started telling him, like, this is kind of the feel that I want from this song, the kind of beat. This is the aura, the atmosphere that I'm trying to gain from this. And I told him specifically, I was trying to mimic the feeling and style of Something Else YT's Help Oh Well, which a lot of people actually recognized. Help Oh Well is one of my favorite songs of all time. Not only because it's like my type of song, the mixed singing and rapping, and the EDM too was fucking phenomenal in that song, but I could relate to it. I could relate to talking to fans and not being able to communicate with them properly, or them just being a little extra and you don't know how to deal with it exactly. Now, I didn't understand everything that he was talking about, but it was relatable at the very least. And I think that's why I like the song. So I wanted to mimic that style because there was a lot of symbolism in the music video, and I kind of wanted to make my music video something pretty similar, something people could understand. My main goal with the song was so that whether you listened to only the music or if you only watched the video, you could take away the same message. You can understand what imposter syndrome is. And I think I succeeded in that pretty well from what I've heard. If you haven't heard of that song from Something Else by T, please go check it out. It's a really good song. So, production start. I told him what I wanted, and I said that I would give him a test recording eventually. And eventually I gave him a test recording of the lyrics. But there was no tempo, and I kind of fucked him over on that. I'm not an imposter, I live in a lost world. I'm sure, but I'm not sure that I'm not an imposter. So eventually I sent him a re-recorded test recording with tempo at time, and then he just breezed through the production on the music. It was quite a while until I asked for an update, but then when I asked for an update, he's like, hey, here's this, I'm still kind of tweaking it a little bit, but let me know if you think it's good. And it sounded fucking amazing. I didn't ask anything to be changed. Like, it was pretty much the fine. I don't know if he changed anything from the test, or from the first version that he sent me all the way to the finished product, but it sounded fucking amazing. So now that I had the track, I was able to not only start on the music video, but I was able to work on the finished lyrics, or finished recording, you know. And this is kind of where I got caught. You see, with imposter syndrome, you lack a bit of confidence in what you do. And that definitely involved my singing and rapping abilities. I've always been told that I've been a very musical kid. I've been told I have a talented voice, which I'm very thankful for, but I've always denied it because whenever I listen to myself, I just cringe. I just sound like too much of a tryhard for myself. And I've gotten more comfortable with it over time, especially in these last few months, but I really have Diango to thank for it. Diango is a close friend of mine. She is an incredible animator and artist. She uploads a lot of her work to Twitter. Please check her out. But she's also a really fucking talented singer. She's also been a pretty big fan of me for a while, which I find hilarious. I felt like I could ask her for honest criticism and feedback. I sent her a little bit of a semi-finished recording with the music, and I asked for criticism. And first of all, she was like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. And then later on, she wrote a fucking paragraph of criticism. It was like an essay and some shit, which I fucking loved. I love having friends like that who will be honest to you about what you can improve and do. But somewhere in this book that she sent to me, she offered to assist me while recording, just to be there and kind of hang out. Because when you're doing something with a friend, it feels more like you're hanging out than just recording. So I took her up on that offer, and I was like, hey, you down to do it in 30 minutes? She was pretty excited. I'm really happy to have a friend like her who's fully supportive of what I do. Honestly, if it was not for Diango, I don't think the song would have come out nearly as good as it did. She gave me a lot of helpful tips. So please go check her out and send her all the love in the world. She's an amazing friend. But now that the recording was over, I pretty much just had the music video to work on, and I had no idea what I wanted to do for this. So over time, as I was listening to the beat and thinking about my lyrics, I had come up with the idea of having a stick figure that represented myself fighting an imposter of himself. I thought I might as well explain the music video a little bit. Not entirely, because I don't want to get too in-depth with it. The music video is essentially about me receiving a compliment, and then I fight myself in my mind. The white world is reality. This is what everything is. But the inverted world, where everything is black and everyone hates me, that's what I think everything should be. So those two worlds ended up colliding. I ended up fighting with myself. I ended up fighting my imposter and losing to my imposter, which I felt was a key moment that I wanted to hit. It's very much so an internal struggle. This isn't something I've found to be able to fix with the help of talking to friends or family, because it's very hard to explain what it's all about. I've had to explain it several different ways to so many people. But so far, the only way that I've been able to help myself in the least is just by myself. And that might be a different story for everyone, but for myself at least, it's very much so internal. It's a mix of being able to accept your success, but also not wanting it. So then, the animation was completed, and I had asked Sue Mike, how's the song going? You need me to do anything? And he sent me a pretty much finished version, and I asked him for a few things to be changed. I think like one or two maybe. I didn't ask for much to be changed, but it sounded fucking amazing. I really, the worst parts of it, in my opinion, were me not being on beat sometimes. I just kind of shifted away from the beat. And that's all on me in the recording, but I feel like I'm beating myself up over that way more than anyone would even care to notice. There's a few things that I would have done differently in recording, but I was overall really fucking happy with how it came out. Sue Mike did a fantastic job. Like, all the props in the world to him. The song would not have been nearly as good without him. The video was ready to be released, and I was feeling kind of confident because I had been sharing my progress with close friends, and they all were blown away by it. They were all very supportive of it. I had showed Aksab and Igor, and they had given me the exact reaction that I was looking for, which just made me feel really confident in what I was doing. But they were also seeing the version that didn't have the lyrics. This was just the instrumental, and that they were all singing. It was just the music video and the instrumental. There was yet to be a voice mixed into all of that, and I have been doubtful of my singing abilities for years. I love singing, I'm just not confident in it. So I was getting very anxious before its release. I had set it to premiere on a Sunday, around the time when most of my viewers are active. Pretty fucking nervous, not being confident in my singing abilities, and just wondering about what I could have changed. I was overthinking everything, but I mean, that was imposter syndrome. So I just kind of had to accept that this is what the product is. I'm going to release it, and I'm going to see what people think of it. So it releases, and I was expecting 90% of the comments to be about Among Us, or, oh, he's an imposter, oh, imposter sus, Among Us reference. But it was the opposite way around, surprisingly. So many of the comments were incredibly supportive, and I just want to take the time to thank you all for that, because that's helped a lot. A big part of imposter syndrome is not being able to accept compliments, at least for me it is. That meant a lot, seeing a lot of the comments, whether it be about them commenting on who I am as a person, or being able to relate, or just how good they thought the song and or video was. Every single bit meant a whole lot. And there were a few misinterpretations of the song and the music video, one of which I found hilarious. I'm not going to talk about it. If you know what it is, you know what it is. I guess someone thought it was about racism, which is not the case at all. But I mean, I think it's interesting that people can have their own different takeaways of what the video was supposed to mean. It wasn't about racism, and I'm really surprised that's what they took away from it. No, I was happy and surprised to see that people understood and they were able to talk with me about it. It's gotten a little weird recently whenever I release a big video that I've been working on for a while, the dojo gets kind of excited for it. Now this time it wasn't like I was releasing a collab, but a music video. I'd never done this before. The closest that I had ever done to an actual music video were rap battles. Before I even joined the dojo, I used to participate, and I still do very occasionally participate in rap battles.
Come Dynamite, we have a bat to oppress. A vigilante superhero stealing work from Gotham's best. Why should I believe you're not a villain in disguise when you spend your time trying to hide from the good guy?
That's part of my old cringy shit that it's back on Flipnote. I don't want to bring that shit back. But like outside of that, I had never done an actual song and released it to the public for them to view and judge at their own discretion. And seeing how kind and thoughtful everyone was very, it meant a lot. I got a lot of messages that day and the day after, and I think the day after that as well. And whenever I would join a VC on Discord with a good friend of mine, or if I joined a VC in the dojo, people told me I did a great job. Like even Telepert, the big Twitter boy who animates Booba sometime. I sent Teleperte, who is a good friend of mine, the first draft of the music video, and he was very supportive of it from the get-go. And then once it released, he told me straight up, dude, that was fucking amazing. Great job on that. This was deep. And that meant a lot. So thank you, Telly. There's of course a lot of my close friends and shit. They all supported me in a whole bunch of different ways. But every bit of it meant the world to me. I was surprised to see that people actually enjoyed the song itself as well. Not just the music video, but they enjoyed the song. Like, I occasionally hear my friends singing it now, which is fucking crazy to me. It was weird, because, like, immediately after the premiere, they started playing my song on the Groovy bot in my Discord server, and that was fucking weird. I think the big question now from a lot of people is, are you going to do more music? Absolutely. I would love to do more music. I just don't know what the next one's going to be. I don't want the next one to be so dark and deep. I want the next one to be kind of happy, like I had originally intended from the get-go, before I completely switched it and turned it on its head. When will that be? I have no idea. All I can tell you is that there will absolutely be more music. So yeah, I think that's about all that I have to say about the song. I guess a few more things before I end the video. Shame Story 6 is in production. Not a lot done on it so far. I'm still kind of fighting on the music choice, but I've got pretty much everything written out on a whiteboard right next to my desk, so it's going alright. I have a few collabs in progress, one of them being synced, and one of them being private. They're both going pretty slowly, but I think for now, I want to kind of take a break from the big projects, and I'm just going to focus on doing a few collab parts, because those are fun. Those sound really fun. I'm going to be surfing around the dojo forums and seeing if there's any collabs to participate in. I just recently got invited to another synced collab, and that's been pretty fun. There's also another one called the Break the Targets collab. It's based around the Smash Bros. Break the Targets minigames, and I'm going to work on the storyboard for my part pretty much right after this recording. But just thank you all so much for supporting me and supporting the music video's release. I don't know if they're going to want to feature it on the Dojo channel, and if they do, I'm interested to see the response, because on the Dojo channel, my face isn't as much of a presence. It's more so just my name. People judge me by my content on the Dojo, but if you're on my channel, you get to know me a little more personally. So I'm interested to see the reaction that I would get if they do decide that they want to upload it to the Dojo YouTube channel. But as of now, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you want more videos like this where I just talk about shit that I've done or that I'm doing, let me know. I'd be more than happy to do more stuff like this. How do I end videos? Man, do I just go back there? I think I just go back there. See ya, fuckers. I don't know. How do I do videos properly? Fuck, I don't know. This is why I'm not confident.